Cypress Financial Group presents the Retirement Roundtable Podcast with John Scallan. Get more at cypressfinancial.net. Now, let's get to the show.
My name is Mark Owens. John, before we get things rolling here this weekend, I think it's important to remind the community of the work that you do with federal employees, because there are strategies specifically for those employees.
100%, Mark. We've spent a lot of time and effort getting every one of our advisors in the office the designation of the federal retirement consultant. And I mean, not only is it an initial test that's fairly arduous, that we have to really study for, but every single week we are on a conference call just getting an understanding what's new in the federal retirement space. We know there's a lot of things going on with Doge. We know there is a real initiative by this administration to shrink the federal government. So we're here to help. We understand your investments. We understand TSP. We understand the 5 silos within the TSP. We understand your guaranteed lifetime pension plan as an employee working for the Fed. So again, call us 504-732-1001. You can always reach us online at cypressfinancial.net. We are here to help if you work or have worked in the federal retirement system.
At the end of the day, income is the outcome that matters the most in retirement. And John, there was a study that should get every working family's attention. Abernathy Daily analyzed over 58,000 401k plans and found that many are guilty of underperformance and excessive fees. So, John, when you do that, you take a deep dive into a 401k, you do a 401k analysis. Is that what you usually find as well? Underperformance and an abundance of fees?
Mark, unfortunately, yes, that's exactly what we see. I mean, it's really frustrating when we run this 401k x-ray for clients and we see absolutely underperformance. And more often than not, this wonderful 401k you have is probably a little rich in fees. I mean, just last month, I reviewed a 401k for an engineer from Jefferson Parish, and her plan was charging her 2% in total fees annually. I mean, 2%. That means on her $100,000 balance, she's paying over $2,000 per year just in fees. Now, if you do the math on that over a 30-year career, we're talking about what? Doing the quick math, $60,000 in fees alone.
Put that into real numbers for someone local, because I know you serve the community. What does that fee, that underperformance, what does that really mean?
Yeah, Mark, thanks for bringing it back. It is not only about fees, it's also about performance. So let's say you're a state employee living in the great city of Slidell. You're contributing to the state retirement system plus your 457 plan, which is simply the 401k equivalent for state employees. Now, if your investments are lagging 25% behind appropriate benchmarks, which is what that study found, not only high fees, but 25% in underperformance, and you're contributing $300 a month for 20 years. Mark, instead of ending up with maybe $200,000, you might only have $150,000. That's $50,000 of your retirement disappearing due to poor fund selection and excessive fees.
What should people do about this?
Pull out your latest 401k statement and look at 2 things. Mark, first check the expense ratio. That's the annual fee that each mutual fund charges you. From there, it's shown as a percentage. If you see expense ratios that are above 1% on your funds, that's absolutely expensive and too high. But that's only part of the story. You also need to add up your plan's administration fees. These are fees for running the whole 401k, things like record keeping and customer service. How about if you want to make a loan against your balance? There's always some kind of fee. Sometimes these are buried in your statement. Now, when you add the expense ratios plus the administrative fees, that's your total cost. If that total is above 1.5% for a large company plan, regardless of whether it's a 457, a 401k, a 403b. That's too much money to be paying into the plan.
Mm-hmm.
We do a complimentary 401k analysis to show people exactly what they're paying in total fees and how their investments are performing compared to the appropriate benchmarks. Mark, sometimes we can't change the plan options, but we can help you pick the best available choices from your 401k lineup and then show you strategies to supplement what your employer offers. 504-732-1001. Don't let excessive fees and poor investment selection steal your retirement security.
And one of the biggest problems, John, is that we, as adults, as humans, we can be lazy.
Procrastination, maybe?
We can procrastinate. We're always finding excuses. Hey, let me get through the summer and vacations. Hey, let me get the kids and the grandkids back to school and college. Let me get through the fall. Let me get through the holidays. Let me get through the first of the year. Then I'm going to make that call. Well, John, psychologists call chronically late people and procrastinators time optimists. These are the people that underestimate how long things take. John, I bet you see this with retirement planning. How costly can this procrastination be?
Mark, this can be truly significant. I mean, look, I think all of us kind of fall into that trap. We could be not feeling well. We could be tired. We could be overwhelmed. But, I think we all know our fair share of these time optimists that you refer to. I mean, just last week, I met with a 45-year-old gentleman from Kenner who said, look, I know I should start saving for retirement, but I've got 20 years. But when you're starting from zero at 45, believe me when I tell you, that is a crisis.
So put it into real numbers, John, that we can understand how procrastination can do more harm than good.
Two people both won $1 million at retirement. Person A starts saving at 25. Person B starts at 45. Person A, to get that $1 million, only needs to save $200 a month for 40 years. Person B, get a load of this. They need to save over $2,000 a month for 20 years. It's absolutely the same goal, but 10 times more costly because they waited.
John, we can't get time back. So for those of us that have maybe waited to start saving for retirement, what can we do?
Let's get realistic about your timeline. We all know how quick this life is passing by. You could blink your eyes. Here we are, 5 more years have passed. I mean, the second thing I would suggest is automate everything. Third, maximize your catch-up contributions if you're over 50 years old. But how about this? If you're between 60 and 63, you can contribute an additional $11,250. Please call us, 504-732-1001. Leave your checkbook in the car. Come on up to our office. The best time to start retirement planning was 20 years ago, but guess what? The second best time is right now, this weekend.
Is it ever too late to start planning for retirement?
Listen, absolutely not. We've helped people start financial plans in their 50s, late 50s. Sometimes this life that we're living can be a bit difficult, right? Things happen. We lose people that we care about. Families can be very diverse and they're the best thing that we have, but sometimes they're difficult. You have issues with work. No one escapes what I call life. If you haven't started, pick up the phone. We will help you. If you call us at 504-732-1001, we will help you start laying the foundation for your retirement, regardless of where you are now.
And John, 2 locations to meet us at a time and a place that fits our schedule.
100%, sir. We are in the heart of Metairie, 3421 North Causeway Boulevard, just a stone's throw from Lakeside Mall. And on the North Shore, we're on Florida Street. Again, 2 locations to serve you. You can always find us online at cypressfinancial.net. And again, always by phone, 504-732-1001.
Helping build income that lasts as long as you do, to and through retirement. And Bob Dole is the CEO of Crossmark Global, and he says, spending is slowing down because companies are being cautious about hiring. Are you seeing that? Like your retirees maybe slowing down how much they're spending once they approach retirement?
Yeah, Mark, I'm seeing retirees pull back on spending a bit. But here's what's interesting. The retirees who planned properly, they're actually feeling more confident than those who are just kind of winging it. You know what the difference is, Mark?
What's that?
It's guaranteed income versus depending entirely on investment account withdrawals.
Okay, what is that difference there?
If your retirement income depends entirely on your 401k balance and the stock market drops by 20%, you're going to cut spending immediately. But if you have Social Security, if you have a pension, maybe some kind of annuity income plus your investment accounts, market volatility doesn't force immediate lifestyle changes. Mark, if you're still working, this is a wake-up call to build multiple income sources for retirement. Don't put all of your eggs in the stock market basket. Listen, if you're already retired and feeling the pinch, we can help restructure your withdrawal strategy. The key is having guaranteed income that covers your basic expenses. That way, it's not if, but when there's a pullback in the market, you know you can rest easy at night that all your expenses are coming from guaranteed income sources, and you can ride out these temporary dips in the market. Many of our clients, many of our listeners, they'll go straight to the website and book an appointment online. You can come see us in person, Causeway Boulevard in Metairie, Florida Street in Mandeville. Reach out. Let's get together and help you move the needle when it comes to your retirement plan.
And John, as we continue our conversation this weekend about the power of income, well, the number one fear in retirement for most adults is running out of money. And with talk of economic uncertainty, more people are looking at annuities as a source of guaranteed income security. But annuities can be complex. So what are the common mistakes that you see when people try to buy an annuity on their own?
You know, Mark, I want to just reiterate this. We say it every week. We say it at our white tablecloth of events. We talk about it when we're doing educational seminars at the library. The truth of the matter is annuities can be powerful tools for retirement, but they're also one of the most oversold and misunderstood financial products out there. The biggest mistake I see is people really not understanding how the annuity actually works before they purchase it.
When you say not understanding, does that mean like they don't do the research? They're not properly educated? What do you mean by not understanding annuities?
Mark, annuities are very complex financial instruments. You know, let's say a client sees a promising ad and it says a guaranteed 8% return. Often these purchasers of annuities think that means 8% annual growth, Mark. But often that's just the income rider growth rate, not the actual account value. So let's say they put $100,000 into the annuity thinking it'll grow to $108,000 the first year. But the actual cash value might only grow at 3% while the income base grows at 8%. These are two vastly different things. Listen, the income base is important because it determines how much lifetime income you're going to get when you decide to turn on that income. But you cannot cash out that higher income base should you want to get out of the contract.
So what happens if we decide to go with an annuity, but we choose the wrong one? What happens there?
Well, Mark, I mean, that's really a huge issue. Listen, there are immediate annuities, which only generate income. There are deferred annuities, which grow tax deferred until you start pulling the money out. There are fixed annuities that are currently paying as high as 5.8% guaranteed for up to 10 years. There are variable annuities, indexed annuities. Each one of these contracts acts a little bit different. I see people buy variable annuities when they actually needed the simplicity of a fixed annuity, or they buy a product with a 10-year surrender charge when really they might need access to the balance of this money in 5 years. Wrong tool for the job. For all of our listeners, if you've purchased annuities in the last 3, 4, 5, 10 years, I cannot tell you how many times clients have come to our office with their annuity contracts in hand, and we're able to tell our clients and our friends exactly what they purchased and what are the benefits of this specific annuity.
John, your approach and the team at Cypress Financial, what's your approach to annuity recommendations?
Again, Mark, depending on what the nuances are of a financial plan, we recommend certainly many different types based on the needs of the client. But the key is that we explain the differences, the pros and cons of each to our clients. We start with your overall retirement income plan first. How much guaranteed income do you need? Then we move on to, well, let's talk about growth potential. What kind of growth are you expecting out of this contract? Then we talk about liquidity. Will you need access to these funds at some time in your life? Mark, here's what's different about working with Cypress Financial. We are independent, which means we can find the best rates on these annuity contracts from over 20 different carriers. We're not limited to whatever product one company offers. 504-732-1001. Call that number for your retirement income analysis and the analysis of any annuity contracts you may already own. Let's make sure any annuity strategy fits your overall plan and gets you the best available rates.
And John, we're almost there. I mean, college football, we talked a little bit about it. Preseason polls are in. LSU, top 10. Oh, Georgia Bulldogs, top 5. Oh, look at that. How interesting is
You
that?
just had to rub that in, didn't you?
I don't know if we've had this discussion before, but, you know, me being a Georgia Bulldog, I have a love-hate relationship with Tim Tebow. I absolutely hated him at Florida because he kept beating us. But now, in his second chapter, I have got nothing but respect for the guy because everything that he said he wanted to do, he's done it. Wanted to play baseball, played minor league baseball. Wanted to play football, played in the NFL. Now he's out mission trips. Now he's married. He's got a kid. He's on TV. He's on ESPN, SEC Network. You talk about a love-hate relationship. I love what you've done with your life, Tim Tebow. What say you, John Scallan?
Well, Mark, you know, back to the old college football days, he did that jump pass where he kind of faked like he was going to run inside, jumped about 4 feet in the air and threw a strike in the end zone. That was like a knife in my heart in Tiger Stadium. But, you know, Mark, I really agree with you. What a man of God.
Yep.
What a man of charity and help. A gentleman who walks his talk. Again, in my mind, one of the finest leaders that we have in our great country. He definitely hurt me during his college career. I was like you, a bit miffed, but again, who he has turned out to be has been truly extraordinary.
Got nothing but respect for him. We're talking about Tim Tebow, not just because college football we're on the heels of it, but also Tim Tebow celebrating a birthday this week as well. So we had the opportunity to sit down with the former Gator quarterback to talk about finding the right financial advisor.
For me, I've tried to bring people that could be wise counselors, not just smart, but wise. There's a big difference. That understand my heart for wanting to be a good steward with what God has given me, and people that can really speak into that in an honest and a knowledgeable, but also a wise way. And I also think it's important for them to understand your heart. For me, there's certain ways I look at it. I want to be a good steward and give to things that I really care about. And there's another bucket for me that's one that I will put as far as making memories. And so special things I can do for people. And so I want them to think about that. And so we literally will break it up into buckets like that. Okay. Memories for families and friends and certain things like that, because I also believe that we can try to create an environment where memories and special moments can be, you can't force them, but you can create an environment where they can happen.
And Mark, you can tell this gentleman he's speaking from his heart.
Yep.
I think the whole world has had enough time to watch Tim Tebow, in the spotlight, out of the spotlight. He's one of these people that is really going to make this world a better place. Kudos to him. He's got all of my respect.
And one more clip from Tim Tebow. We had an opportunity to sit down with him not too long ago, and he's talking about being a good steward with your finances.
I think we're called to be a steward of everything. I think our finances are a big part of that, and that's mostly what churches talk about, is a steward of your finances. But I think it's your time, money, energy, resources, your body, all of it. I think we're called to be a steward of everything God has entrusted us with. I'm a big believer in all those things, but I believe stewardship is more than just finances. I think it's every area of your life.
And that's something you preach as well, John Scallan, about being charitable.
What I always look for in any human being is just kindness. Yep. I mean, God knows none of us are perfect. We're all flawed human beings. But to me, you get a guy like Tim Tebow who's got this giant heart, this giant life mission to help as many people that he can. And again, I think we're proud to have him as an American and part of this country.
Investment advisory services offered through Cypress Financial Group, a registered investment advisor firm. Registration is not an endorsement of the firm by securities regulators. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance products, including annuities offered through Cypress Financial Group, John Scallan, Louisiana Insurance License Number 1064997. The firms are separate entities. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company and are not offered by Cypress Financial Group. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties.